I'd like to call this meeting in order at 6:29 of the Ware Cemetery Advisory Committee. Will you join me in a pledge of allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guess we can skip the next line unless Judy has anything to say like that there as far as public comment.
No,
If not, we'll go into the review and approve the minutes for January 10th, the 15th, and the 29th.
I didn't find the 10th online.
Do you want me to make you a copy real quick?
yeah,
I
make
can
me
do that.
one.
I can do it, but they're not online. I can do it, Mike, while you guys do something else. Thank you.
Janice, you'll make me one?
Sure.
Thank you.
Double check and make sure I
I
submitted
mean, I
it.
printed them offline, so
You
somehow
did?
Off the
they went
website?
out. Yeah, well, I mean, you sent them out, so that's how I got
Oh,
it,
in the
printed
email.
it out. And then-
Yeah.
I sent it, you sent it out via email, so.
I got the one this week.
That was, I think, the 29th, like that went out.
That
like
was the
that.
29th.
We could look at the next, how about the 15th? Does everybody have the 15th? And the 29th, do you have the minutes for the 15th and 29th too?
I thought I stuck them in here. Oh, maybe I didn't put them in, I printed them.
Who made the copies?
Yeah, thank you.
I got them on the laptop.
Oh, you, I think,
I sent them all via email, so, but I don't know if they made it to the website or not.
Yeah, so I'm not crazy, they're not.
I didn't check the website, but I did email them. So, I think I included everybody, I usually do.
You sure did, but I
You like-
didn't look there, I just looked on the website.
Yep. Are we into the trustees?
Yes.
The only thing I have on the very first one there for January 10th is one of the papers that I had printed, or copies I'd made this evening like that. If you go to, it's the minutes of the cemetery trustees, December 28th of 1998. And I wasn't around at that time. It says attendance was Matt, Pat, Judy, and Margot. And if you go down to where it says report on, it's about the fourth line down. It says, found the crammed cemetery. Matt went to look at that site, and right below that, I highlighted, it says, Bean Cemetery founded the X. So somebody out of that group of the attendants like that somehow found the Bean Cemetery out of the, one of those four people up there had mentioned exactly where it was at like that.
So the X from the X on the map?
I would suspect
Yeah.
that they're talking about the X that was on the map
Yep.
like that. So there's just to tie in there to, I guess it's the section
Shoot,
5
who's
there, it
Matt?
talked about the pest house.
Do we have to
cemetery.
change the
Who is
minutes at all?
Matt?
Matt
Should we? Oh,
was
December?
married to,
What's that?
down here.
Oh, she's talking about Matt.
He was on the board for a few years. Real nice guy. He's passed now.
That's what I was afraid of, is, you know, a lot of these people are no longer around like that, so to be able to figure out if they could, you know, if we could talk to one of these people like that to find out, you know, that several times we've gone out to look for.
Well,
the
Margot's
deeds and things
gone.
like that, so.
And Matt's
And
gone.
Matt's gone.
Yeah,
And Judy's right here.
yeah, but I didn't go out and look at
You
that.
didn't
Yeah,
go
she
out.
didn't go out and look, so it was in,
Do you know who Pat is?
Who, do you know who Pat was?
Hat? No,
You don't remember?
no.
no.
Where are you looking?
Might be in the town
Right
report.
here.
Cemetery
Yeah,
trustees are
might have
listed
to
in the
go back
town
and, yeah,
report
look
to
at
the,
Town report for
I
1998 like that.
I have a bunch of them online.
And I will have.
I can check that.
my Trustees in March.
Historical Society, we
don't
put them
know.
online, as many as we can find.
What's that?
Town
There's-
report.
Yeah, the town
They're
report's
also
like
under
that,
the,
so
I
that was,
think,
that was
UNH.
the only
UNH.
connection I could find or any comment I had off of the, January 10th like that, minutes for the,
So are you suggesting a change to the minutes?
no, no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just, I was just, a connection to that,
Yeah.
Kent South Cemetery like
Okay,
that, so.
the minutes are okay then.
Does anybody have any comments or
No.
changes to the minutes like that?
I do not.
I'll make a motion to
Make a
accept the
motion
minutes
to accept them
as written.
as written,
As written?
Second,
second, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
All right.
yes.
Okay,
we
so
got
the
that.
final equals the draft.
All right.
It's done.
Next one is January 15th. Review the minutes there.
I don't have any changes, but I did have an action item in there under number 4 that I cannot remember and find where the remove old copy, where that old copy was. So I apologize, but I'm gonna need a refresh on where that was.
We've all forgotten.
Is it mentioned in the minutes?
It's under number 4 on the second page.
Reconciliation? Okay,
Map reconciliation, action, remove old copy of cemetery rules and regulations.
from the website,
Yeah,
there's,
Yeah.
yeah, there was an older one.
yeah, but do you remember where it was?
I sent an email with the link, I believe.
Ah, okay.
I can double check that.
No, if you think you did it,
I
I'm sure
I
you
think
did
I
it, because
did.
you probably did it while we were sitting here.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I didn't have any changes to the minutes, it was just, my action was not completed.
I don't have any changes. Anybody else have any changes or comments on them?
Motion to approve the minutes from January 29th as written.
Second,
Oh,
all right, all in favor?
Yes.
yes.
All right, January 29th minutes.
I'm sorry, I said January 29th in the motion. I need to amend that to be January 15th.
15.
Should be January 15th.
Sorry. Would you amend the second, Jerry?
I'll amend it.
Okay. Everybody still good with their
Yes,
vote
no.
for the 15th?
Everybody in favor?
Yes.
Same vote.
Okay, sorry.
Same vote.
Thank you. Apologize for the error.
Any comments or questions or changes to the January 29th minutes?
No,
None from me.
A motion,
make a motion to accept the
Second.
minutes as written.
Second.
second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
All right, minutes are approved as written.
thank you. Good, got it. I'll send the final copies up.
Before we get into the meat of the meeting, can I make one announcement? For anybody that may be watching at home, just remind them that we have a warrant article on the town vote on March 11th. It's Article number 19, and it's to allocate $35,000 from the Cypre account so that this cemetery committee can continue their work through 2026 that were started at the end of last year. So we appreciate the community supporting, voting affirmatively so we can continue the work. Thank you.
I agree. And the funds will come from the Cypre account,
Right,
not from direct taxation.
right. So zero tax
Zero
impact.
yeah, tax-wise.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda there is the rules and review the rules and regulations that town cemeteries wear.
Is this the one that existed already?
Yes, it's an existing one dated May 11th of 2016.
Okay. This is the newer one.
That's correct.
No, I don't have that one.
Thought I had a printout, but I don't.
You have the last page should be,
Let me look. Make sure I got the right one. Nope, 2002. There's so many copies floating around.
So is 16 the
2016 is the most current.
the newer one?
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote right on it, look for 2016, wrote right on the top of that.
All right.
So,
You can find it,
oh, the one I have doesn't have a date on it.
It's on the second, third page.
yeah, page.
Not
two,
on the
bottom,
first
no,
page.
Yeah, basically it's the last page there.
I don't,
It's on the
yeah, I don't see it on this copy from the website.
I'll make a couple copies.
It should be under section 6. But maybe it's in the footer of the document, not in the document itself.
No, it's not in this one, yeah. Is this a third copy?
Well, like the copy I have, but I wrote right on it to look for it, and I forgot to do it, I guess. But the copy I have is 22.
Yeah, I have the 2016 one is listed on the website under rules and regulation. That must be the old one. Because we have a 2022?
This is 2002.
Oh, so 16
2002.
16 is the most
16 is the
recent.
correct one.
16.
2002 is the old one.
Old one.
All right, so the one that's linked on the trustees page is the correct one.
Okay.
The one, I'll find the other one and send you a link again, because I can't find an email that I sent you.
We don't want the 2002 one at
So,
all.
but I want to,
No, he wants it removed.
Send her the
That's the
link.
action that I talked about earlier that I didn't complete.
I want to get rid of it.
Do you want this copy?
No, you can just trash it.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted it.
No,
No,
I'm good.
get rid of this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
And get rid of this thing. Keep pulling it.
Sir, is it, that 2002 date, is it in the document, or is it just noted?
No, it's on the back page. I just,
I have a link to a file that has no date in it.
well, there it is, Tom.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's not the one I'm looking at. I'm looking at maybe an even older one, but I'll send the link out. It comes up on the search.
Make sure that those get purged and we have the most current.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It said it
throw
was
that
created,
out.
it was created in 2013,
That's still, that's not the most recent, so.
still not. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna just draft an email while we're talking.
Thank you.
I'll send it out to everybody.
I didn't have many changes there when I went through this. One area I was looking at there is because we have a gap, and it's only gonna get worse for us like that if we don't figure out how to fix the problem. And that's because we don't have a sextant, and it's under I for interments. And this was my thought like that, and we can always change it or whatever like that is, you know, it talks about, I made just another, you go through there, there's 6 lines there under I like that, or 6 sections like that, and I
I
had
think
enough.
that's supposed to be a 1.
Is it supposed to be a 1? Yeah, okay, you're right.
It's
That's
just
the
a
one.
Roman
Yeah,
numeral 1.
Roman numeral 1 like
Yeah.
that. I had like a number 7, and like I said, this is just a comment that the sexton or cemetery trustee or designated agent will attend each burial and receive the burial permit from the funeral home. Because if we don't get the burial permits, we're never gonna be able to update the plot maps.
Right.
And right now, we're not getting the burial permits. Now, I did send an email, because I was late doing it, I did it this morning like that, I sent it to the town administrator to find out how long we've been using dignified services, like cemetery services like that, to do our plot preps like that for burials. And the reason I asked that question like that is because if we can get a list from them, they should know which cemetery and the name of the individual, and we can go through, and it's gonna be difficult, because we're gonna have to go through and basically visually inspect and say, yes, this person or this, you know, somebody's buried in this plot like that. Because right now, we don't have anything, and it's, how are we gonna put these pieces together like that?
What about the undertaker? Because they bring that with them. They bring the burial permit.
But I've heard, when I was in the town office there, I heard also that it's sometimes that the funeral director will give it to dignified services, or dignified cemetery services. And if that's the case, then
Or maybe you need
the
a
funeral
combination of
director or the
both.
funeral home doesn't have it.
So there's 2 documents, this one that we're talking about now, which is the rules and regulations of
That's
the town
correct.
cemeteries, and it's the document that we were working on the last couple times,
Yeah.
which had all the other things in it. Does that comment that you just made belong more in the other document? Because that's our document, and this is more of what you give somebody when they buy.
Yeah, ours is more procedural. This is
So-
more rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if I understand it correctly, this one's given to someone when they buy or when they bury.
That could be, yes, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So
yes.
maybe that comment is in addition to the other document. And I apologize, I don't know the name of it, but it's the one we've looked at 2 weeks and,
The
two
Excel.
meetings in a row. Yeah, we
yeah,
ended up
it's-
generating it off the Excel, yeah.
I know it's,
I think we were calling it procedure something.
It's cemetery procedures, and we have a Word doc. Well, to be clear, the Word doc has the Excel embedded in it now, so it is now a Word doc,
Okay,
just for,
okay.
the Excel by itself is no longer,
Is that the one we updated December 27th?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I'm pretty sure that might already be in that document, that the sexton is supposed to get that burial permit.
yeah, I can search for it if you want to give me some keywords.
Burial permit. Or burial, and the permit would narrow it down more if you can do burial permit.
So what about the permit that we want to
That
question?
the sexton gets it at the time of the burial.
Sexton marks the burial site and associated merit map, marks the map in the town vault, gives the burial permit to the town clerk, makes out the timesheets and submits the checks to the finance officer.
So is there anything explicitly saying that the sexton is the one who gets the burial permit at the cemetery?
The day of the funeral, the sexton and/or contractor goes to the site and parks in the area not to interfere. When the service is over, the paperwork and checks are received from the funeral home or family. The paperwork, I think, would be the permit.
Yeah, so maybe we could do paperwork including burial permit.
I can do that.
And that way it's extremely clear.
but it just says sexton, correct?
Yes.
Maybe you should add, in ca-
That's where the problem is. If we don't have a sexton, then no one's
Right.
gonna be
It's-
there to get the burial permit.
it's the word, I just lost it. It's the three people, not us, but
The
the
trustees.
trustees of the cemetery.
Yeah, so then, the second part is, should we expand it to say sexton, trustee, or designee?
Designated agent.
Agent,
Okay.
that covers it, I think.
I think,
Now, before we go into that, I thought that there was some issue with the sexton and a trustee being the same person.
Yeah, there is. You can't, not supposed to have it. It's a conflict of interest.
Right.
Right, so
It can't be,
it needs to be probably sexton
One.
or designee, not trustee,
Right.
right? Okay, so,
Right,
so if we could modify that document to say sexton or designee.
designated
so
agent.
we have sexton all over this document. Should I put a footnote that says, use of, reference to the term sexton may also involve a designee,
Yeah,
designated by
yeah,
trustees? A
it would have to
designee.
be,
Right,
right?
there's
Because
no
no one else
sexton.
can do it.
Yeah.
So is it okay if I just put a general footnote? 'Cause-
Yeah, or if there's an introductory paragraph of the first time you use that word, put it in parentheses after that.
Yeah, I can put a little asterisk
Yeah.
statement in italics.
Yeah.
And it's the very first paragraph of the very first section.
I would like it there instead of a footnote, because then it's
Anybody reading it,
clear.
they
You don't have to
yeah,
look at
that's
the
correct,
footnote.
It's clear, they won't have to look for a footnote.
Okay.
Um,
Catch, Mike?
So I'll say if no sexton exists,
Or just, you know,
cemetery.
references to sexton or designated sexton agent. You don't have
Okay.
to say if none exists, because
Okay.
it could be.
You could have a sexton
Yeah,
who's on
and they're out of
vacation.
town. Or not able to go because they're sick, or, so they get somebody else to do the job for them for a fill-in.
References to sexton could, how do you want to word this?
References to sexton can be interpreted to be sexton or designated sexton
Okay, yeah.
agent, something like that. That work?
Yeah.
Keeps us legal? Okay.
Yeah, I just don't want to change it everywhere, because.
No,
So I said references to sexton can be interpreted to be the official sexton. Is that an elected position?
no.
no,
No.
it's appointed.
The official appointed sexton or their designee.
Designated agent, yeah, or designated.
Right.
It's actually a hired position, but it's paid by the job, so if anybody wants to make some occasional cash, we're looking for a sexton.
It's gonna be, I'm gonna change the version of this to 22625, and I'll send another copy.
So you're gonna email that when we get done with
Yep.
it? Okay.
We were gonna add in section 2, if we wanna move on, I don't know if we're ready to move to section 2, we were gonna add the sizes of the lots.
Yeah, and I don't see that. Procedure document.
And
Isn't it documented anywhere?
That's the sizes.
I know we talked about it, and you got some information, I think, Mike, but I am looking at our document.
Maybe it should be an extension under number 2 where it says one person lot, the cost, and then maybe in parentheses, it should say the dimensions.
Yeah, and the reason it's probably not in there right now is because this is talking about transferring or assigning a lot that's already been sold. So this isn't selling it, this is transferring it. So
The
maybe
cost.
that's why it's not there.
Yeah, I mean, it should be referenced somewhere else, right? I mean, it could be referenced there, but it's not referenced anywhere.
It's not in this document anywhere.
No,
No, and it's not in our document.
So maybe that actually goes under definition of terms, the sizes.
Yeah. And these prices under section 2 are the transfer prices?
That's what we thought, but I think they're the same.
I think they're
Yeah,
the
they look
same.
the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just the person that's buying it pays
When
the
I
cost.
checked with the town administrator, and I asked about these prices there for purchasing a lot like that, and she said those were the
Right.
the
Current prices.
Current prices for,
Yeah.
Okay. So does the person who previously owned that lot get refunded?
Well, a person owns a lot. They wanna transfer it. Okay, or they're not gonna use it, so they're gonna sell it back to the town.
So this is to sell it to the town, this is how much they sell it
Same
for.
money. It's just,
Right, the
Okay,
same money,
right.
when they bought it.
Right.
Not current prices, when they bought it.
Okay.
so if they paid $500 for the lot 25 years ago, that's what they're gonna get, even though today the lot's $1,200, say. They're not gonna make any money on it.
Right.
Okay, so that is not clear in number 2.
Yeah, it's not. Any owner wishing to sell his or her lot must sell the lot back to the town for the original purchase price.
Right.
The town of Ware may then transfer the lot to another individual. So
Ec-
what are these prices are the sale prices? Like,
The current cost,
yeah,
yeah.
these are current costs of the town selling them to.
that should be
New
clarified.
person.
Yeah.
It's
so
confusing.
Maybe number 2, the last sentence there, we change that to say the town of Ware may then resell the
Resell.
lot to another individual at current sales prices
price.
or whatever that is.
At prices below or something.
Yeah,
Well,
Or, yeah.
maybe we
Listed
just take
below.
it out of here altogether and, because the price is the price. And take it out of number 2.
so we would say the town of Ware may then resell the lot to another individual at current prices, at
Right.
current price.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
And- Because these could change.
yes.
This
right,
document would have to be amended,
right.
so we would scratch that. It should be identified somewhere what the prices are, but this doesn't make sense.
So maybe we'd create an addendum to this document that has the current price list.
We have a price and a size in the cremation garden.
Right,
But maybe we just create an addendum with the prices, the lots, the sizes, and the prices as of certain date. And then when the prices change, we only have to update addendum A.
Right. And we should strike, in section 5, we should strike the last item, which is, has a size and a price.
Great.
and put that in with the other
In the addendum.
Put
addendum,
into the addendum.
yeah.
I don't know, we have an original copy of this file. We may have to type it. I just have PDF. So, that'd be a homework assignment for me, I think.
I don't mind doing that kind of stuff, so
Yeah.
I can do it, and then you can just fix it the
I
way you
did
want it.
Yeah, I did it for the rules and regulations. I mean, not the rules and regulations, the procedures. Those were only printed, and I ended up retyping those as well. I can do this.
It's not a big deal for me to do it. It takes me like 15 minutes.
Yeah, and if you want to do it, yeah. And then, do you want to add the addendum?
Yeah. But I don't have the lot sizes
Right.
for the regular burials.
Where?
1, 2, 4, and 6 persons. So I'll leave those blank unless we find them tonight and can fill them in.
Yeah, I don't have them in the
I
procedures.
don't remember where
Yeah,
they're at.
I believe I've seen them somewhere, but,
But I
yeah.
thought
We had them
somebody-
here one night, but I
somebody
don't
found
think,
them.
We've seen different ones, though, on the maps, so we're,
Oh, yeah.
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 From years ago, yeah.
So we were wondering which ones were the current ones.
Well, maybe,
Oh, maybe what I'm thinking of, Mike, is you did a thing, you did some research on how many
People,
burials can be done in a lot, but I don't, maybe we didn't do the sizes.
I can look those up. I'll find out what the,
Where would you find them?
Maureen should know, because,
I'm gonna say Maureen should know like that, because, you know, when the deeds, when people are purchasing like that, they'll have to know
to know whether they need a
Yeah.
2 or 4 or
exactly.
6 or what they need, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was in a document we looked at already. Oh, you know what it was? We were looking at this sheet that I think Naomi had put together for 2024. She was marking the sizes.
Right. Those
7
are the
by
ones-
10,
the
10 by
ones that she
10.
had sold there in Pine Grove, that's correct.
Yeah, and they vary. I mean,
Mhm.
these are, you know, a one-person, 2 urns is 4 by 10, makes sense. A 2-person is 7 by 10, a 4-person is 10 by 14. I mean, maybe they're consistent here.
There's a 4-person, it's 10 by 14, but then the 2-person here is 8 by 10.
And there's a 10 by 10,
And
2-person.
then you have a 2-person up here that's
7 by
7 by 10.
So they, there's 7 by 10 mostly, but there's some 8 by 10s. And the 1-person, 2 urns, 7 by 5, 4 by 10, 7 by 5.
I would hope that we could make them all the same.
I mean, they should be if you're gonna charge the same price, right? I don't know why these could be varied, but, yeah, I don't think we have this information. None of
okay.
them.
I'll just leave it blank and be something I need to fill in.
Yeah, you can say 1-person lot, 150, and then size
And leave it,
TBD or
yeah,
something
just highlighted as yellow for now.
until we get it.
But there must be something on the plot map, because you can't,
Right. You can't just,
otherwise they'd be all different sizes like that, so, but that's, we can research that and
All right, so I'm gonna,
clear that up like that, so. I mean, I guess for the time being in the addendum like that, we could just put, you know, one, like you said, 1-person, 2-person, 3-person, 4-person, and then the cremations.
So the question I had is, section 5, and if you go back to section 1 for interments, it has information about sealed vaults and all those kinds of things for a regular burial, but there's absolutely nothing of that regard in section 5 for cremation. So does that mean that anything goes as far as a cremation? You could, a plastic bag's okay, or is there a requirement?
I don't think
We used to bury whatever
they brought
I brought,
So there's no,
cardboard box,
yeah.
plastic bag.
Well, I've never had a plastic bag, but,
Well, the ashes are usually
the ashes are in a plastic
plastic
bag when you
bag,
get them, yeah. If you don't have them in an urn or something specifically,
Right.
but. Okay, so nothing needs to be added there, okay.
But it does give a dimension, 2 by 2.
We'll move that over to addendum A.
It also gives a dimension of the headstone. in the cremation lot, but it doesn't give a dimension of headstones in a regular lot. And I don't know if there is any dimensions.
There never was,
No, I don't
whatever people wanted to put.
put up.
Yeah, as long as it fit.
Yeah, in section 4, it does say that you can have a raised, if you will, family marker, and then individual would be flush.
I wonder if the 12 by 24 there, you know, you look at section 5, you know,
Yeah.
line 2, that says 12 by 24, then look at the bottom there, where is it a two-person lot is 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah,
Right,
So
so,
that may drive so that
right,
the stone fits within the 2 by 2
Two.
lot that was sold like that.
and I've always wondered about the hours.
I was just reading them, thinking, we've never enforced any hours.
Yeah, I mean, at 8 o'clock, it's really dark in many parts of the year, so I don't know,
I mean,
unless you know exactly where you're going.
nobody's gonna be out there in the dark, I don't think.
When you do the hunting standard, half an hour before sunrise, half an hour after sunset.
Civil
I know, I
twilight,
see people
sunset.
go over at 8 o'clock at night in the summertime and water the flowers at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So they might be there at 8:30, it's still light out. I don't know, that
Twilight, but
yeah, 8 PM in December doesn't make any sense.
doesn't make any sense.
No, if there's snow on the ground and you don't know where you're going, you could easily trip yourself up
Oh,
unless you've
sure.
got adequate light with
Yeah.
you.
And no one would ever know if you
Right.
fell.
Maybe you should put it in as summer hours. Spring through fall or something.
I don't know, if you left it, what happens if you said 8 AM to dusk? That way, because 8 AM, it's gonna be
It's always light
daylight,
out.
whether, any time of the year.
Yeah.
But dusk is the one that's gonna fluctuate the most.
Right,
Just a thought.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there may be somebody too that really wants to go out there and maybe they, you know, go sing their loved one a goodnight sonnet at 11 PM. And yeah, I don't want to restrict that, but I also don't want people just walking through there and hurting themselves if they
There's
don't.
a liability of going in there at night,
Yeah.
I think. I would say something like dusk.
Yeah, I
That's-
think so. I think that covers it.
You have,
Or sunset, whatever you wanna.
yeah, I mean, twilight, sunset, I don't know.
Sunset, You know,
you
whatever
know.
you wanna. Maybe sunset's better than dusk, because then what is dusk? We know what sunset means.
Sunset is much later than dusk.
That's true.
Sunset is when the sun goes down below the horizon.
Horizon.
Around here, it's already dark at that point, typically, like, you don't have a lot of light.
No.
There's twilight. I mean, I can read the definitions if you want.
Civil twilight's basically 29 minutes after sunset, so.
Sunset is the disappearance of the sun below the horizon. Dusk is the beginning of darkness in the evening. There's astronomical dawn, nautical dawn, and civil dusk. Morning civil twilight begins at 6 degrees, blah, 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 you know. There's a lot of different versions of twilight.
Yeah.
I think just do sunset. I mean,
Yep.
You want to go with sunset?
That works for me. I'm fine with sunset.
I'm sorry, dusk is the period of twilight that begins after sunset, so sunset is earlier. I thought it was before. according to the AI bot that is responding to my question. So sunset comes first, like by an hour. So that might be the right term.
Dusk.
With hunting, it's with relation to sunset. It's half an hour before and half an hour after sunset, official sunset. And that's for safety purposes, to give you enough light. So sunset is the
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah,
Dusk is an hour after sunset,
there's not
Not
much
quite
light
an hour.
left.
70 to 120 minutes,
Yeah.
depending on the season. So I would go with sunset.
I think it's gonna be a rare event that somebody would be in there after sunset anyway.
Yeah, I'm saying dusk because they're not going far. I mean, it's not like you gotta traipse yourself out of the woods.
No, you're just coming out of the cemetery.
Right, so I'm suggesting dusk,
Which would be
after,
an hour roughly.
up to an hour.
It's an hour or more. The definition was an hour to 120 minutes. Up to 2 hours after sunset.
Well, it's gonna be dark.
Yeah.
I'm fine with dusk. I'm not,
Okay. Anybody object to
It's
dusk?
all less than 8 o'clock, so
yeah.
I think it's an improvement
Or after 8 in
in the summer.
In the summer, it'll be
Right.
after 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
during the dark months,
Right.
it would come before 8 o'clock.
Long before that, yeah.
And so that would pull it back into a more safe
Yep, no, I'm fine with that, yeah, dusk is fine.
Yeah.
dusk.
I don't have a problem with that. Dusk it is. Anything else that we see here in these rules and regulations like that need to be changed like that or updated?
Yeah, I didn't see anything else. Well, actually, one quick one. Walking a dog is requested to have it on a leash. If you're in a public place, aren't you
Required.
required to be on a leash per
Required.
town ordinance?
Well, even the state of New Hampshire like that, I'm pretty sure it'll tell you that it should be leashed,
Yeah, if you're in a public place, I think you're supposed to.
yeah.
Yeah, unless the dog is really trained and stays right beside you. I think you gotta have it,
Should we
Yeah.
say, anyone walking a dog in the cemeteries
is required.
is required to leash their dog per local and state ordinance standards? I mean, that way we can be, if the laws change, whatever, we're just saying, you gotta comply with whatever the local laws are. And just genericize it that way. Is requested to leash their dog per,
Not requested, is required.
required to leash per local and state law, and to
I would-
clean up after it.
I would put, yeah, local and state law. Required to leash in accordance with local and state law.
Mm. And to clean up.
Okay.
Janice, if you're gonna write this up, are you good with all the changes we've
I
done
think
so
so,
far?
yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to keep track of them, but,
Yeah, well, that way you can check me, but I think I've got them all.
okay, I'll put them in the minutes.
Yeah, from what I understand there, section 2 there, we're gonna list it as current price, and we're gonna create an addendum to put the 1, 2, 4, and 6-person lots into that addendum.
Size and price.
So yeah, I'll have to get the size like that, that's my action item like that. And under section 5, we're gonna move the last sentence there, the 2-person lot, 2 by 2, that's gonna move to the addendum.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And then under section 6 there, we're gonna move it to dusk. And then the last sentence on that page like that is required to leash in accordance with local and state law and clean up after it. As far as anyone walking a dog in cemetery, required to leash in accordance with local and state law.
I have them all.
Yeah,
Yeah, in that transfer section, we're gonna change the word transfer to resell,
Yeah.
and we're gonna say at current price,
Yes, that's correct. Yep,
right?
yep, that too.
And then, I don't think I have I don't have a note in my, to get rid of the price and size out of the cremation garden. I'll do that. I said take them all out.
I captured them both.
Yep. So section 2 and 5, right?
Yes, 2 and 5.
yeah.
All right.
Next item on the agenda there is to look at the draft, the cemetery's plan of work. After our last meeting like that, there was some comments there that I went through and updated this here, and for example, there was, when you look at May like that, it says inspect cemeteries, lawn care contract, category 2 cemeteries. Before, I had just put category 2 cemeteries, and we weren't quite, we wanted to make sure that if someone else was looking at this or doing this, you know, working in this position like that, they would know where to go to look to find the category 2 cemeteries. So I put, you know, the cemetery's lawn care contract is how it's worded at the top of the contract there for the mowing and work in the cemeteries.
And they must have a list of the cemeteries,
Yep,
That's correct.
yeah, we
They're
went
in the
over that
contract.
a couple of months ago, we went through that.
yeah.
Section 1 and 2, whether 2 was twice a year and section 1 was more often.
Yeah, that
I
was
have
on a
it right.
regular basis there, so, and that's why you'll see like June and July, I broke it down because it'd be a lot to try and,
Yeah,
you know, June is like 1 through 9, and then July is 10 through 18 like that to do the inspections there.
what does it 10 to 18 mean?
The quantity, there's 18
There's
cemeteries.
18 cemeteries that were listed under category 1, so like June will be category 1 cemeteries, and the ones that were numbered 1 through 9 will be June
Oh,
inspections.
and then we
Yeah.
split it up, because there's so
And I
many.
split
Yep.
Yeah.
the total of 18, so.
18.
Yep.
In
16
in
May.
July, after that 10 through 18, can you make headstone cleaning a separate line?
Yeah, I could, like I
Yeah.
did in June.
Yeah, yep. Because otherwise it looks like it's
Yep,
part of
yep.
what the contract should do if somebody's
Yeah.
not in the know.
Yeah, I
Right.
can do that.
Yeah.
'Cause
The
that
other-
is definitely not a contract thing to clean headstones.
So we're gonna do headstone cleaning, that's what that means,
Perform,
right?
yeah.
We're not inspecting, we're gonna,
That's correct, yeah, that's
Go
why
on.
if I move that down, I'll make it a separate line item.
Or put word perform or
Or-
conduct
yeah,
or
Yeah,
complete.
I don't know if you want to put it on here, but you remember I mentioned to you that part of the stone wall was coming down in Riverdale. Either it got hit by a car or a snowplow or something. I'm not sure, but I happened to notice it last fall. We ought to check on that come spring, as soon as the, you know, late April or early May or something.
is that cemetery in category 2?
no,
No,
it's a category 1
category
cemetery.
one.
Yeah, see, it wouldn't be, we wouldn't look at that till June, so.
We might want to look at that beforehand, maybe in late April or early May. Just to see, because like
Yeah.
I said, I was driving, I
If we
only
see any,
noticed
I
it.
think if we spot any, at any time during good weather, we could probably take a peek,
Yeah, I just didn't,
get on it.
I didn't check then, and then by the time I went, had a chance to go back down, we had some snow, so,
Oh, yeah. Could be snow in April.
yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah, this is a guideline, I mean,
Yeah.
we can always say, hey, that we noticed some damage, we go out and inspect it, the weather's good. We could always do that ad hoc, nothing stopping us from that.
Yeah, this is pretty much so we don't miss
Forget
anything
anything.
like that, and it's just a,
Yep.
And like I
This
said,
is
it's,
standard.
it's a working document, we can always add and subtract or move things around there if it doesn't work like that. So if it, you know, if the timing doesn't seem right like that, we can always adjust it.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and make the changes for that, and moving down that headstone cleaning, and maybe I'll add, you know, perform headstone cleaning on those, so instead of just listing as headstone cleaning like that, I was just kinda keeping it kinda brief, but I can go ahead and update that, so it makes more sense like that if someone else looks at it.
For October, can we change a word?
Sure.
Cleanup work sessions, let's make that plural, for non-contracted cemeteries. You can just say non-contracted generally, I think. You're referring to the two categories, but it doesn't,
Right. Yeah, I can put in there cleanup work sessions for non-contracted cemeteries, I can do
yeah,
that.
it's,
That's all right, yeah,
it's
that's
a,
okay.
it's a minor point, but someone else might not get, I get it, but someone else might
Yeah.
not get it 5 years from now.
Yeah, it looks good, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good plan.
All right, so I'll make those changes there, as I'll add, like, perform headstone cleaning for the headstone cleaning, I'll move down headstone cleaning there in July. And then I'll change October to say cleanup work sessions for non-contracted cemeteries, and those are two examples that I had off the top of my head, there was John Gillette and budget.
Can you add the day to your version too, not just the month on the bottom?
Oh, yeah, I can do that, so.
And then when you're done making the changes, you can send me a copy, because I'm gonna back up my entire folder to the other laptop again.
Yeah.
So if I have it, then it'll get on the backup.
Yeah, once I make the changes like that, I'll send it out to
Yeah,
everybody. So
consider
everybody-
me-
Well, you can have
yeah.
electronic,
Yeah.
everybody can have electronic copy like that.
Yeah. Then if we wanna tweak it again in a meeting, I'll have it, I can make it on the spot.
Yep.
I'm the Google Drive of this committee at the moment, you know, shared drive. So I should get every document sent to me. It's in an island.
All right, next on the list there is old action items. The only one I can remember is my own, so. I was to check to see if the RSA's burial requirements for caskets and urns, I went through New Hampshire RSA 289 and 290. They don't list any requirements on how many caskets or urns can be put into a lot like that, so it's, and when I went online and I looked at some of the different towns like Deering and Goffstown and Brookline like that, it seems like it's up to the town that they have different amounts. I think Deering, you can have up to like 6 urns in a casket, and others only say 4 urns in a casket, so I think it's specific on the town.
You're talking about a normal size, not a cremation size.
Well, if you had a lot, and you
Right.
put 1 casket and like
Or-
4 urns on top, that's correct, yeah.
On top of the casket?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Did we?
I thought it meant one or the other. You could either have, I may have misread
Yeah,
it.
you can do the,
Well-
you can buy you can have a lot, and you can have a casket, and on top of it, they'll put the urn.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that, I think,
Yeah,
last
we'll
month,
talk a
didn't we?
little bit about it like that, so.
So you just referencing other towns or the state law as well?
I went to, like I said, I went to the RSA 289, 290, there's no reference to
Right.
requirements on, or limitations on how many caskets or urns you can put into a lot or a
Right.
plot, so.
So then at that point, you're just looking at what other
At that
towns have
point
come up.
there, I said, well, what are the surrounding towns doing like that? And they were more specific like that. And like I said, I think Deering was, you know, if you had a plot, you could put 1 casket and up to like 6 urns. Others will say a casket and 4 urns, and, or some may only be 2, and
Is
it
it,
vary
they,
depending on the town and.
did they talk about the size of the lot in
I
that
was gonna
case?
say, what's the size of the lot?
What's that?
What's the size of
Yeah.
the lot?
Whatever, one casket,
Whatever, you know,
or
A
one
s- a
casket
single
lot.
one,
is-
a
yeah.
single lot?
single
Yeah.
lot, yeah.
Yeah, we have to consider the lot size when we see that information, because that could be a four-person lot, and who knows if they have the same sizes as we do, if we even know what our sizes are.
We don't know at this point.
No, but once
That's
we figure that
relative.
out, I would assume that the number of cremations that you wanna put into, just for sake of an argument, or an illustration, not an argument, for a one person would be the number of headstones that you could fit on top of that.
Well, you could do a family stone in a lot.
You-
Right, but you don't have to do that.
No.
So
No.
you would wanna limit it to, if it's a 7 foot long, you would only be able to do 3, because two by 12. Is that right? No, you could do 6.
Oh, yeah, the cremations
You
are
could do
12 by
6.
24.
Yeah.
Is this something that it would make sense to talk to the New Hampshire Cemetery Association about? Like,
Probably.
must have some kind of standards, I would think, right?
At least a
Yeah.
recommendation, best
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
It's not an official government thing, is it? It's more of a,
I don't know.
No,
Private
it's just a,
organization?
yeah, it's just an
It's an
organization.
organization in New Hampshire.
And there also might be limitations based on the actual geography, topography itself. I mean, maybe there's a reason that some of these are different sizes, or have been historically,
yeah.
because a particular piece of property that was used as a burial back in the 1800s might have been different than
You
where we're burying
you have a
today.
tree or a rock or something like that, and you only have room enough for one burial, well, then you sell it as a one-person lot.
Right.
So you're gonna see different sizes. There were some I know that were three-person lot.
Just because that's the
Because
only way to
of-
make
yeah,
use of
A
it.
big
That's a
tree or a
problem.
rock
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. And years ago, obviously, they weren't gonna move a big boulder.
No,
Probably still wouldn't.
Still don't think they'll do that, so they work around it, and there's so much ledge that,
Yeah. Yeah.
not if you're going out with one of those little excavators, you know, unless you do it ahead of time when you're laying out the plots.
Right.
So,
And those little excavators aren't gonna bring out big boulders. Rocks maybe, but not boulders.
I'll reach out to the New Hampshire Cemetery Association and see what they have for, like, the number of caskets and urns like that in a plot, or a lot like that, and see what they say. I can reach out to them for that, so.
At the same time, you might want to ask if there's a standard
Lot size?
lot size,
Yeah.
generically, right? And then what can you fit in it is the second part of that question. They may know that typically a one-person lot, burial lot is 10 by 5 or whatever, I don't know what the number is, but you know what I mean? They may say, this is what you can work with. We can compare that against what we see on
Well,
our documents, and, you know, maybe we,
I would think
adopt
that
one or
they'd
the
all
other.
have to be at least 6 feet
yeah, right.
minimum. I mean, what happens when you got somebody that's
9
6'5"?
Right.
Well, the one you had is like
Standard,
7 by 10.
standard.
None of these are one-person burials, they're all one-person, oh no, 7 by 5. It says one person, 2 urns. They
So
bought,
it's 5 feet wide and 7 feet long?
Yeah.
so it says, and a 4 by 10. So that's shorter width but longer length. I don't, that might have been just designated as a 4 by 10 originally. That's a recent, you know, June
Why would they have
I
a
was gonna say,
10
what,
feet long?
by 4 feet wide, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me, but
We can look at that one. That's in, Pine Grove,
Those are all in Pine Grove.
yeah. That could have been a kitty corner one, or might have lost,
Well,
well,
it seems like most of them are gonna be 10 feet long. And I don't know,
Yeah,
and it's the other way around, so they're 7 wide. Well, that one there is 10 feet wide and 14 feet long. That's a 7 by 10, 7 by 10. And then there's,
this
see,
one is,
then a 7 by 5 doesn't make sense either, though.
and there's two of them.
Unless they bought a one-person.
It might have split up a bigger lot, and they're gonna put urns in them.
Yeah, but then that needs to be designated on the master.
Yeah,
plat map.
we have to look at
That's-
this
that's
map
where
to see what
where
it
we
looks
get
like.
into-
Have you gotten all the information from Naomi?
I don't know all of it, no. Any other old action items like that? No.
I just got a couple of things just to mention. I did update the procedures. I put the address and contact information for the vendors in there.
Okay.
And I also had notes from a meeting before the work session of changes to, just make sure I say the right document. It was, these are the original procedures, right? I have notes, yeah, we rewrote the procedures in our own format. Actually, I retyped it because this was print only. So the text of the procedures also has changes that we made a couple meetings ago. So I've updated those, so I can send them out to everybody. If everybody wants an updated copy.
So once we get these finished, we need to present them to the Board of Selectmen, which are the trustees, and
Yeah.
get them to buy off on them. Just keep that in mind.
Yep. So this,
I mean, that goes with the rules and regulations that we're working on too, that we looked at.
Yeah, I would
And
say
then we
take them
just
both
did-
at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say we do them at the same time, and we might as well show them our
Yep.
plan of work too like that, so, and, I mean, at some point they wanted us to update them anyways like that, so
Yep.
it's something we could do, maybe all at the same time then.
yeah, these, I was correct, this was the printed copy of the procedures,
Okay.
text, narrative, that I retyped, got it electronic, put our Excel document after it in the same document. I updated the Excel, and I also made the notes changes that we talked about. And so I'll send that out. And then we just made a change today to it, adding the designee comment. Right, so I'll send, it'll have that change in it as well, all right? I didn't know if we were gonna make changes tonight or not, so I didn't send it out just yet, but
Okay.
I'll send it out. Okay. I also, I also tweaked the 5-year plan a little bit, I cleaned it up a little bit.
Did
It's
we
just-
change all the prices?
That's all been changed, we did that last.
Went through?
Yep,
Because
No.
when we were sitting here, we only did like the next year, I think.
I did them all.
Okay.
And the other thing that, we had year 4, we had 2 groups combined, and it was like $100,000. That didn't make any sense. So I split those, and now we have 5 years.
Right.
That's
And
fine.
it's like 34 and 33, or, 34 and 38 or something like that. But anyways, I noticed that error, so I'll send out a copy of the 5-year plan,
Okay.
the updated procedures. You're gonna do the regulations.
Yeah, and I'll just send them to you, and you can put them with everything else that you're gonna send out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it out with I'll wait for you,
Okay,
and I'll send it all together.
okay.
I also noticed it's kind of cool that the town administrator, I'm assuming she did this, but most of the pictures on the front are all cemeteries.
All right, I
It's
saw
kind of like
that.
The year of
Yeah.
the cemetery.
You notice the cemetery, the railing is down?
It's broken. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a new one.
You say, did I-
Yeah, Sugar Hill and Eaton
Yeah, yeah,
and Center Square are focused, so she was paying attention. She,
yeah,
yeah, did that on purpose.
Yep.
It seems.
yeah,
But it's nice.
yeah, yeah. Somewhere, and I can't tell you where, I just saw those hand pumps on sale for $19.99, and now I gotta go back through a bunch of paperwork to
Oh.
flyers. I don't think you'll get one any less than that,
No.
but I'll look and see. I'm guessing it was gonna be at one of the hardware stores, but,
Yeah, I definitely want the ones that you pump as opposed to the ones that you.
oh, yeah,
continually
yeah, the ones
squeeze.
you pump the whole thing, and then you can
Pressurized.
spray for quite a while, yeah.
Otherwise you look like Popeye.
I have one that's battery controlled.
Do you?
Yeah. Plug it in and turn the button and it pressurizes it for you. Comes out.
Yeah, but you're not gonna have any electricity in the
No,
cemetery.
it's a battery.
Oh, all right.
You charge it up.
Pretty
Getting
cool.
lazy.
That's probably too much money for us.
Yeah, those are expensive. They're like 50, 60 bucks.
All right, next on the list there is, do we need to schedule another work session? And I guess my question is, what would we accomplish if we scheduled another work session?
We have 4 Johnson Cemetery maps that need to be reconciled. It's been bugging me. The last meeting, we had them out on the table, and it was
Right.
like,
Your eyes were twitching.
different people were updating different copies of the same map, and they're all different. Well,
Well, it's different information on
Yeah.
the 3 that I had seen like that, so, and then I don't even know how you can
we should,
consolidate
I think you
them
need
to-
one new one,
Yeah.
and then transfer all the
All of it.
information from all of them onto one new one, if there's one blank one around.
So I think that answered your question.
We need to pick a date then.
I would just request that they start at 4, in like the last one.
4 o'clock, yeah.
I can't do 3. I'd never make it. Not right now.
And I don't have anything with me, but usually 4 o'clock's all right.
So our next meeting is actually early March, right? We're on the. it'll be
That's
the
next Thursday.
Second,
This 6th, I
the
believe.
6th, yeah,
It's the 6th, it's next.
first Thursday, yeah. So it would be sometime later in March, like the week of the 17th. Give us,
What's the Wednesday, 14th?
Wednesday be the 19th or the 12th?
12th or 19th or 26th.
I can't make the 12th.
Yeah, so I was suggesting that the 19th maybe.
19th.
I mean, we could do the 19th I'm looking at the town calendar, the
Yeah, I was just gonna
energy,
go through
the
the hallway and
energy
look.
commission's in here at 7. I mean, town office is open late, so we'd have to be out before 7.
4 to 7?
At 4.
also a conference room upstairs if we're doing a work session, you just have to then drag the maps
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on the
All
video.
right, okay.
You can go upstairs, and there's
We can
a
go
bunch of big
upstairs.
tables up
Yeah,
there.
We could do,
It's still February up there, so if you fold it up, it should be accurate, whatever you see there.
yeah, I'm looking at the 19th like that. It's at 7 PM. The energy commission's gonna be in here. We could do 4 to 7 upstairs. if
Yeah.
need be. That works.
And what day is that?
So
Wednesday.
Wednesday, March 19th.
Might have to leave. Is that the third Wednesday in the month?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's all right, but it's a historical society meeting that night
at 7:30,
at 7.
at 7.
So we just leave 10 minutes early and go over, yeah.
Third Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want this room, just make sure you tell Naomi soon, that way she doesn't schedule anything else in here, because we are trying to schedule a couple different meetings with, other things that she's working on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that tomorrow like that as well. I'll put us down here.
I don't think it was that date, but just in case.
I think we need to find out if we have a blank Johnson Cemetery map.
I don't think we have a blank, but we have the one that Bob Ballquist did. That is supposedly updated, that he worked on last fall.
Yeah, I made 2 copies of that,
Copies.
so there should be 2 clean copies in there that aren't the original that we could use.
Yeah.
And they were rolled up together. Did we ever get any tubes?
No.
She had a couple in there, I think, that were empty, but I
Okay.
don't know what.
Well, I had mentioned to Maureen and to Naomi about buying tubes like that to stick them in so they don't get dog-eared. Well, something that I did, I was in last week or the week before like that. Maureen gave me a copy, her list there of all the plot deeds by name. So then I went through, I mean, it's flawed. It didn't work the way I'd hoped it would like that. As I went through the town reports like that year by year, starting with 2024 and went all the way back to 2014, and tried to mark up the plot deeds with names that are in here, and they're far and few in between like that. There's not that many that match the plot deeds. I mean,
Have you got the 2024 burials there?
yes. The 2024, with total number of records there was, did I say 50?
59.
59, and very few that I could find that showed up on the plot deeds. And the challenge is, and Maureen says that's a problem sometimes, is you'll find a name and then it'll say "and heirs." It doesn't specifically list all the individuals that's involved with it, or can be buried in that plot, so it's a bit of a challenge.
Well, the other challenge we have here is that we don't have the burial permits, so we're missing people that died, that lived in town their whole life. Bruce Knox isn't listed, he died in October. He's buried in South Ware. He's not listed in the town report this year. Susanna Buxton died this summer, lifelong resident since she was married. She was buried in South Ware. She's not listed here. We got a problem, a big problem, because, I
She's
don't,
buried in Hillside,
yeah.
so there's like a communication
Well,
break.
those are 2, but I'm just saying, you don't know how many are missing from these other cemeteries, that's my concern.
Well, when I talked to the town office, they said that they get the death reports from the state, because the state is the one that does the vital statistic. The town doesn't do it anymore. The town gathers the information from the state.
So it shouldn't matter where they're buried.
It shouldn't matter
That's
then.
correct. It shouldn't, I agree. So I don't know where the breakdown is. That's
Well,
what I'm trying to say.
did she live in Ware when she died?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And Bruce Knox lived in Ware.
Like if she moved to Goffstown, like, we might not get that?
If
Because,
she lived in Goffstown after the fact, no, Goffstown would have it.
right,
Yeah.
But Bruce Knox was in Ware right up through until a couple of weeks before he died, he was down in Boston Hospital.
Well, that wouldn't have changed his residence. the
No,
hospital.
no. So he's not listed either.
And that was the reason I went with the plot deeds and the death report like that, is because when I asked Maureen when she pulled out the burial permits for 2024, there's only 4 permits in there. I mean, and we got 59 people, so that's,
Got a problem.
that's what I'm saying, and it's gonna start all over again come April 1st. Anybody that died in the last couple of months that's
Gonna be buried in April.
gonna be
or May.
buried in the spring, or sometime this year, then if
Yeah.
somebody doesn't collect the burial permits, then we're just that much farther behind.
I would think, I'm just saying, my thought, that, say, French and Rising, I would think that they would have to keep a copy of everybody that was coming to Ware to be buried on a computer system.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a meeting or 2 ago about calling them and asking what paperwork they do have. I don't know if anybody actually did that or not.
Well,
the funeral home?
yeah,
Yeah, a couple of them.
I'd be willing to do that. I
Yeah.
don't know if we have to go down to get something.
Yeah, talk to Patrick.
Patrick
Yeah.
and Judy we could go down together if we had to.
Judy can twist her arm since she knows them.
This,
Well, I mean, that helps, because
Yeah, I mean, you
you
have a
know by name,
relationship
and
Yeah.
I don't, so
Yeah.
that's a bit of a challenge, and,
Well, I know them, but
I
Judy
know,
knows
that's
them better, because
Yeah.
they worked it with them. I just think we need to look at every avenue to get whatever information we can.
well, I was gonna reach out, that's why I had sent an email to the town administrator, because I asked the question there, when did we start using dignified cemetery services? You know, and I know in the past we
Oh.
didn't.
Oh, God, it must be what,
Oh, quite a while.
15 years?
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
guessing.
I'm hoping that they have records, they could go back, say, for 2024, then, and because they charge us for that, they should have some type of,
They should have-
invoicing that they can say, well, for all these individuals, and I know they're not gonna be able to give me a specific plot, or a lot like that, but at least they could tell me whether it's Johnson, Pine Grove, or East Ware, at least narrow it
Yeah.
down. And then the thing is, you're gonna have to take it and go out there and do a visual and say, yes, that individual is there, and.
Well, you don't
we
know.
won't know.
You won't know that, because.
I guess you don't know,
you
but you're
don't
hoping
know.
if the headstone is updated like that, you
It's
can
a
look
bit-
and say,
Yeah, it's a big
this
if,
is, this is
because,
John Doe's in there, you're hoping that, I'm just saying, I mean, it's the
Yeah,
best we can
yeah.
do is, because we don't have the burial permits, and then we went from 24 to back to 23, and it's the same thing, there's only 4 or 5 of them in there,
awful.
and Maureen started marking them with a pencil, saying that they were put into this plot, in the Johnson Cemetery, but nobody's signing off on them, I mean, there's nothing in there to.
what a,
So, but I went all the way back to 2014 trying to do this. I could do it real quick online because like Tom says, the Historical Society and UNH has it, they're all, electronic like that. So I could sit at home on the computer and go through them, and it's flawed. I mean, it didn't work very well, but I did get some, so you can't
No.
use the burial permits because we don't have them.
Right. Can somebody
So,
contact
the
Dignified and
next
ask them the
step
same
is-
question you're gonna ask French and
But
Rising?
then you have to figure out what funeral home did they go to?
well, I
It
mean, you
was it
could be,
Manchester, or did they go to Hillsborough, or are they
Right.
Peterborough? I
they
mean,
could be
if you ask Dig-
Hillsborough. I would
yeah.
say the two most commonly used in Ware would be Hillsborough and
Is it Hoyt?
French
Hoyt
Horizon.
and French and Risings. I would say 90%.
yeah, you're gonna get most of them that way.
Yeah.
It's just a few people that come back and are buried in Ware that live out of state or out of town. But, yeah, I'll follow up with Judy, French and Risings, and if you want to follow up with Dignified.
I was gonna go, I was gonna actually stop by, I could take those lists and say, listen, and this, and say, I tried to put these together, can you give me a list of all the burials that you've done in the last 10 years?
See if you can talk to Mark Hubbard.
Sherry, you're gonna contact who?
French and Risings and Goffstown. We can call Hoyt too up in Hillsborough, but might not be as much information there.
Okay.
Good. At least we'll know what they have, and if it's nothing, it's nothing, but I think it's gonna be something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they have something like that, so.
I would hope that if you're a your funeral director, that they would have a database of all the people
They have
that
to
they
maintain their
handled.
books. I mean,
Right.
they have to have
And
a
where they
ledger.
were brought to
Right,
be buried.
right.
I would hope that they would have that.
Yeah, I mean, for auditing purposes, and they, as a business.
State law and stuff, I
Right, they
would
have,
imagine.
a funeral home is pretty regulated.
Right.
Plus, as a business, they should have that information for at least 10 years,
Yeah, I would hope so.
5 to 10 years. But being a funeral home, I would imagine the requirements are a little heavier than just that.
What I'll do before our next meeting is I'll send out, I'll pull it offline like that from the state of New Hampshire like that, is the RSA 289. And I'll do 290, and I'll send it out before our meeting if you can look at it.
Yeah.
I think, what Sherry's saying, there's some valid points in there. There's a couple places in there that they talk about where, whether it's the family or the funeral director or the funeral home like that, is supposed to, within 6 days, they're supposed to get that burial permit back to the town. And I don't think it happened there, but if we could look at that, say, and confirm what I think it says like that, then we can go from there next week, and since we have to meet next Thursday. So on that, we've scheduled a work session now for Wednesday, March 19th.
Yeah.
We'll do the 4 or 7 like that, and I'll
Yeah.
make sure that Naomi knows there to get it on the calendar like that, so we don't lose that spot. Anything else on,
Next meeting
Next
is
Thursday,
Thursday,
the 6th.
March
March
6th.
6th at 6:30?
Okay. I'll get these minutes out quickly.
And next on the agenda there is the new action items like that, is I'll reach out to Mark at Dignified Cemetery Services, at least someone there, and try and get as much information as can on burials like that. I'll send out the RSA 289 and 290 for review before our next meeting. I'll also reach out to the New Hampshire Cemetery Association there and see what they can tell me about the number of casket urns in a plot like that, and what its standard lot sizes are, and what can fit in their lot sizes. And then also, I'll see if I can find out what the lot sizes are for the town of Ware there. I'll come in and talk to Maureen or Pam like that, and see what they have here that. So, that's what I have.
And myself and Judy will get a hold of French and Risings and Hoyts, I guess, and try to see if we can get some information. See what they have. Hopefully have a database that you can just print out.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have something.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
I don't-
I'll retype the rules and regulations with the changes we made today, the whole document, and send it to Tom, so he can include that with the other documents that he's gonna send.
And I'll send all the documents that I've changed out to everybody after I get that one.
Oh, and I have one more, is I'll update the plan of work like that, get it to you, with those 3 changes I had. to-
Oh, yeah, and send me a copy.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
send you a copy like that, so you can send it out.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
Yes, motion to adjourn.
I'll second
Second.
that.
All right,
7:52.
all in favor?
All
Aye.
in favor, aye.
All right. Motion- Meeting's adjourned.
Let me know when you want to switch.